if you're friends with your spouse, you would love to be with your spouse.
Oh, yeah. Don't let it be too late before you see God's face. I don't want you to learn in a hard way.
God is not an author of confusion. Baba does not confuse his children. He does not at all. Okay.
Like, just realizing that forgiveness is also deliberate and it's honest. You can sometimes when you say, oh, I need to forgive this person, you didn't necessarily get an apology. You didn't necessarily get an acknowledgement that this person is saying, oh, I'm sorry for this thing that I did to you. So it's like you have to address that. You have to address what it is that is actually upsetting you.
Hello, everyone. Good evening, good day, good afternoon, or good morning to you, wherever you're watching this. Welcome to another episode on Avis Chat. And the lovely person talking today is Yanenu Uwa Akiyevi Oyelavi. That's my name. Sorry, my name is Yanolu. Just to say that again. And to my right, this wonderful dark chocolate man, my husband, and I'll allow him introduce himself.
Oh, so good day, wherever you're watching us from. Thank you, my wife, for that wonderful sumptuous introduction. My name is Abiodu Oyelami. Just Abiodu is fine. Good to be here again, and thank you for the invitation. It's an honor to be here on the program.
I thought that you invite me. I thought you invited me.
Oh, go ahead. Just joking. It's good to be here.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
Yeah.
So, people, we have a wonderful thing, something very nice that we'll be talking about today, which is something I guess was close to my heart, and I know it's one of those things everybody, I think most people usually pass through, and before you get to your final bus stop, I won't say final bus stop, but before you marry, which is something that we'll be talking about today, is singleness. So this session will be to whether you are single, you're thriving, or you're single, you're frustrated, or you're single, and you have different questions, or just wondering, okay, how can I maximize this my singleness period, or how to enjoy this, how to get the best of your single time before moving into courtship or dating and finally being married. So
Absolutely.
we are going to just be talking about that. And this is for everybody that, also just so that you can also reflect. If you're married, also this can also be for you just to reflect about, or if in your singleness or you're in a single period, you actually maximize your time properly.
Yeah. So just like my wife has said, there's a topic for majorly the single people. However, we're also trying to reach out to everybody in general. So even if you're married, but you know people that are going through the singleness phase, you can advise them based on some of the things you say here, and also you can even share the videos to them and play it in to them and share it to them so that they can also enjoy. We're trusting God that yes, it's going to be a wonderful one, and we're going to share as much as we have experienced and know. So it's a blend of both our individual life experiences and also some of the things we also got to hear and listen to. And going back, and we share our lessons, we share some of the things. Probably we don't have regret, but just lessons and things we wish we could do better in our own single days.
Yeah. So
It's good to be. Singleness is a blessing. That's all I would say.
singleness is a
But being
blessing.
married is it's a super blessing. That way.
Okay. So, one thing everybody thinks singleness is like a period of you waiting, like it's like a waiting period.
Yeah.
But what if singleness is like the most um important foundation
No.
for every other thing?
Yeah.
Because if your foundation, if your singleness is not in your single period, if you do not maximize it properly,
Yeah.
and you don't lay a good foundation,
Yeah.
then your dating or your courtship or your marriage
Yeah.
might be shaky.
Sure.
They says a house, before you can build a house, first of all, you must lay the foundation. And if the
Absolutely.
foundation is not solid and good, every other structure that you put on the foundation might actually crumble.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just before we go ahead, I just want to say, please, please kindly subscribe down below, or comment or like our videos.
Yeah.
We really appreciate that. But now let's get into this conversation.
Absolutely.
So, Oga, let's be real. I want to ask you a question.
What was that?
And I wanted to, the question I want to ask is, let me see, what's the question? So, did you enjoy being single, or did you struggle with it? So, what is your personal experience with singleness before we met? Like, what exactly?
I enjoyed my single years.
You did?
I did.
Let's elaborate.
Sometimes you don't know the value of what you have until you lose it.
Obviously.
Yeah. And I feel singleness is that season for me. I had that freedom. I was free to do good things. Let me put it. I was not bad. I enjoyed my singleness because it gave me more time to do things. Do things as a single guy. But now I enjoy being married to you. That one, I will never trade that for anything.
I know, but the question is your singleness before you met me.
I enjoyed it.
You enjoyed it?
There's some things I wish I could have done better though, but I still enjoyed my single.
All right. So, for me, I would say I won't say, okay, this is it. There were times whereby I was enjoying my singleness. I was thriving, embracing everything that means to be being single as a woman. There were times also, I will not lie, let's be real. There were times whereby also I wanted to be in a relationship. There were times like that I had that thought that, okay, I need to be in a relationship. But after all that, then I think I was happy. Then after being in a relationship, then I'll now realize, oh my God, I want to be single again. So it's like it was a mixture of two. I enjoyed my singleness. I think it was towards the latter of my singleness. I think was when I started enjoying the real definition of single period. Because I feel like when I was still young, like I just finished from university, like my first degree, and I just let's have a man, let's not be lonely. That was what I was having until I met some certain set of people, or I encountered certain set of things that changed my perspective. Then from there I started enjoying my singleness, that that if somebody is giving me wala, you're out of the door, because you cannot. When I was single, I was enjoying my life. You cannot. I'm now dating now be giving me wala. Yep. So yes, I enjoyed it. Though at the beginning, yes, I struggled, but later on, when I discovered who I am,
very important. Very important.
And I did not have, a type. I was not, I was not vibing. I was not, doing all those other things that you tend to want to do, quickly. And also, another thing that I loved was the fact that my parents were very accommodating of my singleness,
Nice.
like my single period.
Very, very
like
too,
so they were supportive of that. So love that. So I really enjoyed my singleness, because my singleness is what made me who I am today.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
Absolutely. Before we go into the next question, you mentioned something I want us to just address little. We may address it more later. Is the fact that why is it that when people are single, when we're young, we always want to be in a relationship. We always,
because people accustomed being single to being lonely. But singleness is not you being lonely. You're not lonely. You can be single and be thriving. You can be single. You're single is like you're just alone. You're not lonely. If you trust me, if you first of all put yourself let's say, first of all discover who you are. First of all find God. When you find God, you find your purpose, or you find everything that God has called you forth, and from there, surrounding yourself with good people, or good community. Trust me, you will thrive in it, because it's just the feeling of, I'm lonely, which is true. Everybody is lonely. You live in Canada, it's winter time, it's cold. You'll be like, you want somebody to come and warm you up. Is it true? But it's like you're lonely. You're what will I say? You're yearning for companionship, which is something that is the main reason why people are eager to leave singleness and being in a relationship. But the thing I would like to say is that singleness is a journey.
It is.
It is a journey.
It is.
And in singleness, it's like, it has different layers, different layers, and you have different seasons also in your singleness. But that at times that in the singleness, that days that it might be, you need this, you need that.
It will come.
Or it might be easy this time. It might be hard this time. But if you embrace the old definition of being single,
you're gonna enjoy.
You would enjoy it. And
Absolutely.
also if you now put God in the midst, or have God, have a good intimate relationship with God. In that your singleness and your single period. It's gonna be a blast.
Absolutely.
I discovered that late, but it's gonna be a blast.
Just to add to what you just said is the fact that two things. Let me say one or two, as much as I can. One is, looking back inside now. One thing I wish I could go back and change is the yearning to be in a relationship. It's not a bad yearning, So if you're single and you're watching this, your desire to be in a relationship is not a bad thing. But the question you need to ask yourself is, why am I yearning to be in that relationship? Just like my wife has said, sometimes, okay, I'm gonna throw some things. Sometimes some people end up in a relationship because of peer pressure. You see your friends are in a relationship and you also want to feel among, you yearn for it. And there's that longing in every person, whether you're male or female, that longing to be, and it becomes more complicated when you have your friends you're talking about relationship, and then you are there, you're single. You're calling their boyfriend or girlfriend, just like we used to say, but you don't have one.
Call God.
So if you're watching this,
Say I have a father.
I have a father.
That's my backing.
That's my backing.
So that's the best person. Is the unlimited person?
Always there.
Always there.
Always there.
So it's okay. Don't be
So,
I'll say intimidated. I won't say don't worry about that.
Yeah, don't worry.
But another thing I would want to say about singleness is that that we that is that first of all, one is never confuse singleness with being lonely.
True.
One.
True.
Two is that if your relationship will become better and better if you maximize your singleness. And singleness is something that everybody should pursue and choose. Is a journey that everybody must embrace, pursue, and not be afraid of. Because if you're afraid of it,
you don't make the best.
You don't make the best of it, and also it's like you puncturing, or you just you're having a deficit of something, and you're going into other part of your life, and when you have a deficit, it's going to show later on in life.
It's going to show.
So
it's going to show. Yeah. Oh, you made a wonderful point. Wonderful point. You know, you're not. So if you're watching this and you're not enjoying your singleness or your singlehood, singleness because you are in a rush to be in a relationship, or you're not in the moment of being in your singleness, you're missing out a lot and you're shortchanging yourself. You know why? Because there's a season for singleness. There's a season for it. We have been there, we're out of there. You know, once you leave the singleness phase, it doesn't come back again in a long time. In a long time. So make the best of it. If you don't, or if you are not, then you're missing. You're shortchanging yourself. And the second thing I wanted to say, I know you want to say something. Second thing I wanted to say to my point is the fact that, you know, don't be in a rush to be in a relationship because you're seeking validation from someone else. Because sometimes most of us that were rushing as a single person, you're rushing to be in a relationship because you're seeking the validation probably that you didn't get from your family, from a man or from a woman. Your validation is from God. What God has said about you is enough. Every person that will come into your life to give you any other validation should be a continuation of or a confirmation of what you already know by yourself.
By God.
So by God. So don't rush to be in a relationship because you want a validation from someone. Because you want someone that will be telling you you're beautiful. You're already beautiful.
God
or you want
says,
someone
I'm fairly and wonderfully made.
Absolutely. You're beautiful and wonderfully made. You know, God said you are the apple of his eyes. So you are the most precious thing that God has ever created. So don't seek your validation from someone else. And if you're a man, you're looking out for a validation from a lady, you know, to tell you that you are the best in the world. You're already the best as long as you are created in the image and the likeness of God. So don't seek your validation. Don't because you are trying to seek for validation, or because you didn't get for love and care from your family, now rush into the hand of a man or a woman. It doesn't work. So
it does not, my people. It does not.
It doesn't work.
It does not, because if you run into it, it's just you running into the hands of.
It's a trap.
It's a trap. Of course, it doesn't last long.
It doesn't.
Trust me.
It doesn't.
Because it's a crumble. Because it's like a void there you're trying to fill. And you're trying to fill it, and you're trying to fill it with other people's validation. Feeling it. And you know, at the end, you still, you know, even if the person is still validating, there'll still be an empty void inside. And the only thing that can fill it is God, the word of God.
Absolutely.
That can fill it. my sister, and my brother.
Definitely. And babe, to round it off, just to complement what you're saying, do you know when you're seeking for validation, you become vulnerable?
Not really. I won't say vulnerable. I feel like you become you won't know you won't know your worth.
That is it.
It's not vulnerable. Vulnerable. That's not vulnerable. I don't think that you become you won't you know how you won't esteem yourself high. Because if you esteem because if you're seeking validation, that means you have self-esteem. We Christians, we don't have self-esteem. We have only God esteem.
Absolutely. The reason why I say you're vulnerable, maybe probably I'm not using the right word, is the fact that you become susceptible to anybody that comes. So once you find someone that can tell you,
I love you, you're fine.
Yeah.
You go with I love you, you're fine.
You fall into that.
Do you know, I was listening to a sermon the other day. Yeah. She said, she's a pastor right now. She was saying that when she was younger, she used to have, just on side note, she used to have list of I want him to be tall, I want to be this, I want him to be that, I want him to be that, I want him to be that,
Yeah, like.
And so she said until she now embraced her singleness and filled that singleness with God.
Absolutely.
She said, right now she doesn't take unnecessary, oh, can we be friends? Oh, let's be vibing. She doesn't take that. She only takes serious inquiries.
Yeah.
Serious inquiries. Just like how at the job, let's say they put a job post in their description there, they would tell you it's serious inquiries. They don't want somebody that is just playing around. Like they don't want somebody that is just yo-yoing that is not serious. That will just waste their time. Because if from validation, because you think the person is actually the best for you, not knowing that the person might not be the best for you. But from there, when she understood and she embraced that singleness, then from there she said that the person that she's looking for is, first of all, she described herself as the Proverbs 31 woman.
Beautiful.
And if she's looking for a Proverbs 31 woman, then she's looking for a man that can do what is it Ephesians 5:22 can do. Can you love me like how Christ loved the church?
That is it.
Because if you can love me as Christ loved the church, technically that means you have a relationship with God. That means you can pray for me. That means you can pray with me.
That is it.
That means that you are if you are submitted to God and you are following God, then that means that every other thing else can be easy. It won't be like a little bit, it won't be hard.
Absolutely.
I just feel that way.
Absolutely.
Just saying that.
Absolutely.
But I feel like we've talked a little bit about this thing I'm about to ask is that I think we've talked about it, is why is singleness often misunderstood? Like, why is singleness often misunderstood?
Yeah. Well, I think, like you said, I think we touched it. It's because I would say probably because we misinterpret the season. The reason why singleness is often misunderstood is it's just because most times people lose that, they forget that it's a phase. Singleness is a phase. And that's one thing the Holy Spirit has been trying to open my eyes to see, that life is a phase, that everything is in phases. And one thing is the fact that if you lose that phase, if you lose that singleness phase, it becomes a bit difficult to get it back. So people see most single. I also had that mistake, is to forget the fact that singleness is a time to build. It's a time to focus on building the holistic building of your personal self. So it's often misunderstood that. So instead of building, most times, sometimes people build but focus on other things that are not really as important as a relationship. You know, sometimes that's when people are looking for, just like we said, to try to get validation from other people, fall into the wrong relationship, fall into the wrong community of friends. So it's often misunderstood because people or let me say in general, we misunderstand what that season is for.
Oh, misunderstand what that
Once
season
you
is.
understand what singlehood or singleness is for, the perspective and the way we handle it will become different. And there's a popular quote that say, what, once the importance of something is not understood, abuse is inevitable.
Okay.
So knowing that's what the season is for, singleness is a season to build. And once you understand it, and then you now deliberately put in the effort, then you will not misunderstood that season.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yes, I understand what you just said right now. Which is true. It's a singleness is a time to build.
Yeah.
Another thing is that I feel like what is always why people tend to misunderstand the concept of singleness
Yeah.
is because first of all there's this societal um um how would they call it?
Expectations.
No stereotype or
Okay,
stereotype
belief. Let's say belief.
stuff that believes that
Yeah.
people have.
Yeah.
Sometimes before, like even in Nigeria, um, let's say you're a certain age, you'll be like, "Why are you single? Why are you single?
Yeah.
Why are you single? It's not right for you to be it's not right for you to be single. That's when parents, when you're in university and every other thing, they don't talk about it.
Yeah.
But once you finish university like this and you do NYC or you do every other thing like that, that's when they'll be asking you, bringing it up when are you getting married. So it's like a societal thing.
Yeah.
So because of that, people have always found because okay, why are you single? It's not right for you to be single. This is that. That has also, that belief, that notion that it has been passed across generation to generation.
Yeah.
That has given people a different notion about singleness, whereby they're not actually enjoying in the season. And it says in Ecclesiastes 3:1 that there's
A season for everything.
there's
There's
season
time for everything.
there's time and season for everything.
Yeah.
Which is true because in different seasons, if you do not use it well, that passes on and you can't, it's like a time loss that you can never get back again.
True.
So that's just my own thing. Another also thing is that people tend to have a misinterpretation about singleness because they find it as singleness as a punishment.
Yeah.
But it is not a punishment.
No.
It's a time whereby God can use you.
True.
You can discover your gift in God.
True.
And God can use you
absolutely
to do things.
Yeah.
It's like it's not a punishment. It's not a punishment.
No.
And actually, just the thing I would say is that singleness is a blessing.
It is.
It is a blessing.
It is.
So that is like I feel like that. And also in the notion of that I think we've also talked about it, which is peer pressure.
Peer pressure.
Which is that also. That's why people have misinterpreted the singleness that,
Yeah.
And as they said, they've also there's different things that have led to people misinterpreting
that
being single.
Absolutely.
In this our society.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one more thing is, mindset.
Oh yeah.
Mindset. So to every single person out there watching, is just want to encourage you to, whatever idea or notion that you have about singleness, know that is a time to find yourself. It's a time to build character, build you know, because mindset is one of the issues and problems that we face.
Okay.
The Bible was saying that, it said that we should not be conformed to this world, but we should be transformed by the renewing of your mind. I think Romans 12 now. The mindset is something that you need to work on. If you know that that season, if it's a mindset that, I want to use this season to grow,
Mm-hmm.
you will do better.
Sure.
As a single person, you would do better.
Mm-hmm.
Let me shock you. One thing about it is this, and this I will strike a balance to it, is the fact that whether you are in a relationship in your singleness or now or later, if you follow God truly, you will truly end up in a good relationship. You end up in a great relationship, not because you are not using your singleness to look for a relationship, but because you are building and you are growing with God.
Okay.
But our journeys too are different too.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing too. And also this also another, the balance is this. Some people, God will arrange it in a way that they will meet their spouses early in their life. Do you understand? So if it happens to you that way, congratulations to you. Don't, because of, you want to focus on your singleness, and then you start chasing you chase everybody away, to even that you chase your profession, your spouse away, your future spouse. So grow, but also be sensitive to the leading of God, and then have a good mindset.
It's like as if you're peeping into my like the next question I want to
Oh,
ask,
okay.
which is all about mindset anyways.
Okay.
So, which is one of the questions that I do like. So wow. So talking about mindset is, since everybody has this mindset, I want to be in a relationship.
Mm.
I want to be in a relationship, or I'm waiting for the man, or um like I'm waiting for my spouse, I'm waiting for the one. So how can we change that mindset into I want to thrive. I want to thrive in the singleness. How can we change that mindset of being anxious? Even God does already told us not to be anxious for the future, instead of embracing the present, the now.